Hi ladies, Reba Hoffman here with you again. I'm a member of the Driver Advisory Board. I'm a lease operator here at Prime, and I'm here with my very good friend, Dee Sova.
Hey everybody.
Dee is also a lease operator. She's also a member of the Driver Advisory Board, and the one thing that she is that I am not, and that is the Highway Diamond of the Year for the year 2017. We're very proud of you, Dee. It's always great to have you here.
Thank you.
And you know
I'm
what?
happy to be here.
Well, and I am very excited about this topic because when we're talking about women in trucking, this is one of the most serious topics that a woman can discuss. And this is one of the greatest concerns that women have, and that is that of safety, particularly now that she's upgraded and she's out there by herself in a solo truck. And, you know, Dee, you've been driving for almost 30 years now, and wouldn't you say that in America, that with the proper planning, that a female alone on a truck is as safe as anywhere in America?
I totally would say that, because you still have to practice the same tactics that you would if you were leaving your home or going back into your home at night. We put on our alarm systems when we go back home at night and we're getting ready to settle in for the evening. It's the same thing on your truck.
Well, that's exactly right. And the only difference is that you may not be familiar with your surroundings.
Right.
But you know, familiarity in your surroundings may make you complacent. So I think that gives women an edge. You know, you may be in a truck stop that you've never been to before, or something like that.
New city.
What's that?
A new city.
A new city.
State.
Yes, and you know what? You brought up a very good point, because I want to let women know about cities. You know, most of the time, with rare exception, the load that a woman picks up has enough time on it that they can plan around that. You know, drivers at Prime, a lot of them, they like to drive at night. Some of them like to drive during the day. And if there's enough time on the load, they run, they have the independence, and they make the decision on how they are going to run it, what hours they're going to drive, and all that. Once in a while, the load will not allow that, because it may be, you know, pick up and then have to run it and deliver it right then. But usually you have that luxury of being able to plan your time. And what I would recommend is, if a woman is delivering in, let's say, a large metropolitan area, I'm just going to pick a city, Atlanta, let's say. The one thing that I would highly recommend, and you tell me if you agree with this, Dee, is that that woman plan her trip so that she stages outside of the metropolitan area and then drives in to deliver that. Would you agree?
I would totally agree with that. It's so important for you to plan even your safety, ladies. We don't know whether you're going to be driving days or you're going to be driving night. And all of that determines your ability to be extra safe while you're out on the road.
Yes. Well, and you know, the common mistakes that I witness and that I hear of women making. Sometimes they may be in a truck stop and they're talking about what they're hauling.
That's
their freight. Yes, you don't want anybody except your fleet manager and the sales team and your shipper and your receiver to know what you're carrying, because that just, male or female, that sets you up as a target. The other thing is that, you know, a female may meet someone in the truck stop, male or female, and they start chatting with them, and then they make the mistake of saying, oh, well, hey, why don't you come back to my truck with me?
That's another no.
You just don't do it.
Yeah.
If you think of your truck as your bedroom,
it is,
and you don't want to have a stranger coming into your bedroom, just don't do it. If you want to meet someone, you want to have dinner with them or whatever, I mean, you know, a lot of times I like to go into the truck stop. I like to meet my fellow truckers, and we have all kinds of trucker tale stories, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's very entertaining. But then I don't bring them back to my truck. And women just should not do that.
Well, I see it as you need to exercise the same common sense that you would in any other environment.
Yes.
Before trucking, you took precautions to
Right.
be safe. And now that you are in trucking, that needs to be a priority.
Yeah.
It's common sense. I mean, I would never bring back someone to my truck unless it was you, of course, Reba. Then
Exactly.
you could come back and we can have all the conversation.
Right.
But it has to be somebody that I know and
Right.
I'm familiar with, who's not going to take advantage of the fact that I'm out here running solo.
Yes.
So That's what we want to think about.
Always lock your truck when you get out of it. Even
I
if
have
you're
a
right
trick.
around your truck, always lock it. Always carry your key with you. Those types of things that sometimes we take them for granted, but if a female is just diligent about doing those things, there's no reason why she would not be safe on the road. But I will tell you one story very quickly. I was in a situation one time, I don't even remember where it was very early on, and I got out of my truck and I noticed that I was backed up to woods at a truck stop, and all of a sudden a homeless man came out of the woods. And I didn't know what to do. He was coming toward me, and just in an instant, I opened my door and acted as though I was having a conversation with my husband in the truck, who wasn't existent. And hi, honey. I'm going into the truck stop. What do you want? Oh, you want a Diet Coke? Okay, anything else? And you know what, honey? There's this homeless man that's standing outside the truck here. And can you just keep a watch on him? Because I'm not really sure about it. No, he looks harmless. And I was just having this conversation with someone who didn't exist. And I made that decision in a split second. And that individual turned around and walked back into the woods because he didn't think I was alone at that point. But, I've been out here for almost 5 years. You've been out here for almost 30 years. And, we're both sitting here saying we're women, and by and large, we are as safe driving a truck in America as we are anywhere else. And, I think
I absolutely love that story, by the way, because that took split-second thinking, and that's really what it's going to take when you're out here. Because, ladies, you are a target. You are, whether you want to be or not, only because they see a woman in the truck. So knowing that all eyes are going to be on you at any given moment, you have to pre-plan how you're going to deal with it. You got to pay attention to who's watching you. But this story you just told, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Well, we are a target, but also my experience has been, I'm sure yours has too, that our fellow truck drivers are overly protective of us as women.
Very true.
And there's just a couple things that you can do that will make you less of a target. And, walk with authority. Walk with purpose. Don't look indecisive. Don't look like a meek little lamb.
I don't know what to do.
Act like you are a female professional truck driver. And, that goes a long way in dissuading someone who might want to try to do something.
What you're talking about here is your posture.
Yes.
Your posture needs to be strong. I mean, yes, you are a woman who is solo, but you need to have that confidence as you're walking from your truck into a store, from your truck into the truck stops. This is what she's talking about.
Yes. And ladies, you have gone through a lot in this series, and if you have gone through Prime, these steps that we've talked about, you have developed that confidence and that air that you are a professional female truck driver for Prime Incorporated. And so a lot of that will just become ingrained within you.
Natural.
And yes. And so we just want you to know that while, in our country, in the world, none of us can ever be 100% protected from everything that ever happens. I am here to tell you, Dee is here to tell you that you are as safe being a female truck driver as you are anywhere else doing any other job in the United States of America. So if you're thinking that, I don't want to do that because I don't think it's safe, let us tell you from experience that that is just not true.
I'm still here. Reba's still here. There's a lot of us who are still here. So
yes, and you spent a lot of time on the road, and I am jealous of you because you have developed an incredible way to maintain life on the road. And so next time we are going to be talking about how to live as a female truck driver on the road. So I am really looking forward. I'm hoping that some of you will rub off on me in the next segment.
I look forward to that as well. Of course, all these conversations with Reba have been outstanding. Thank you so much for tuning in.
We'll see you next time.